we have to take it up a notch, boys and girls. We are live now. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know, what does paraplegic pay?
Yeah, you do know we're live, right?
Hell yeah. Do you get more of it?
And I just want the audience to know that I wanted to spend the stream talking about sex dungeons, but they shot that down.
Shot that down, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yep, we're not gonna no, we're not gonna shit.
I've made it my mission in life to whatever speed says before we go live to not talk about it. I'm gonna mention it every time right off the bat.
Nip it. TMI.
You are one crazy bastard, John.
Anyway.
Hey, why are you taking shots at my mom, dude?
What happened?
I don't know. I apologize.
Hey, Jay.
Oh, hey, the clown prince of crime is here. Hello.
So things that happened last night. So okay.
Things that make
I was fucking tired
I
last night.
heard stop by. Oh, sorry. Good night.
No, go ahead.
No, I hear Otangelo stopped by your stream last night. Is that true?
No. I told you, no, not Jay's. Otangelo was on Praise's channel. Then he went on his own channel with Red Fang.
I know you told me that, but Naka told me earlier that he went into Jay's channel, and I saw him there. Yeah, Knock was there on one of Jay's streams yesterday, and he had said Otangelo showed up. Maybe he was talking about it in the live chat. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe
live
another one. Is that right, Jay?
It was live. No, it was live chat, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, a question. All right. I've been saying Pasek all this time, and either yesterday or the day before on Jefferson's stream, he was telling us about how they got his name wrong into the debate description and shit. And he was saying Pakic.
No, what he was more or less, what he was focused on was the fact that his screen name for YouTube is Jefferson Spatchcock. He doesn't go with Jefferson Pasek.
Right.
But yeah, no, some people mispronounce. I don't know why he pronounced it as Pakic, but it's actually, we pronounce it Pasek.
Yeah. And when he was telling the story too, it was as if they didn't put spatchcock up because it contained the word cock.
What?
Yeah.
Possibly, but Praise used to say it all the time because he thought it was funny on his channel. So
Hitchcock. So you couldn't put So Alfred Hitchcock would have to be Alfred Pasek.
Yeah, Herbie Hancock is just completely out of the question.
So you can't talk about badminton because you have to hit the shuttlecock.
Or the cockpit.
Yeah, that too.
That's right. You can go on an airplane.
When it's a woman pilot, do they call it the cunt pit?
Jesus.
John now. Okay, I heard they don't like the word poke.
Poke.
Yeah. Somebody was saying that they don't like the word poke, P-O-K-E, on Praise's stream, I think.
Well, there's old Jefferson Spatchcock himself.
They seem to have problems with the usage of the word poke as in to aggravate someone. So when I did another stream, I just said, fine, I'll just say piss you off.
Yeah, so I called him a mother poker, and nobody got it. So
yeah, that's a weird thing I've noticed among evangelical fundamentalists is that they get this group of words that they just get all spastic about, and usually they're words that do fit legitimately into the context of other things.
Yeah, and then every now and then Praise will go on a stream and just start swearing like crazy.
Is it could it be that they're just like they don't like President James R. Polk?
It
could be. They could be anti-Polkists.
Well, what it was is they thought that using the word. I think what it is they thought that using the word poke was making light of a comment that Nigel had made towards Olive, and so I was like, okay, whatever, but fine. How about I just say insult, or piss you off, or aggravate the fuck out of you? So that's when I changed the vernacular. I was like, fine, I won't use the word poke.
Get your undies in a twist.
You're so reasonable, Jay.
I'm always willing to be, somewhat courteous.
Stephanie points out every toilet has a ball cock.
I was talking to you last night, Jay, about the oh shit it's snowing shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for that same bank, which was in conservative North Carolina, that my manager was talking, and we'd come back from the bar and I was doing some work. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and he was talking to his boss because we all went out together. And my manager, or the woman said, my manager, yeah, he used the G word. And I stood up and I said, goat fucking? And they said, sit down and go back to work.
Well, there was Jesus Christ. There's the things have changed because I like I said, I work at a federal installation, and one of the days I was watching one of the guys who's he's in the parking lot, and he was doing something. I think they were dropping off some scrap or something in one of the bins, and so I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and he's wearing this ball cap, right? And on the ball caps, it's a black ball cap, baseball cap. It says "fuck Newsom." I'm like, man, times have changed when it comes to dress code. It's like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Newsom, you mean the governor?
Gavin Newsom, yeah, the governor, yeah.
So, what did you guys hear the story about? Like I forget which official it was, but whether it was the governor or somebody else, or maybe a senator from Texas. But there was this video I saw earlier where he was blaming renewables for what's going on in Texas right now.
Well, that was Abbott, as well as ex-governor, energy secretary, what's his face? Oh, Rick Perry. They both use that line. However, Abbott, when he was talking locally, like with local groups, he would talk about how we don't have contracts with other providers to get the electricity from them during these particular problems. But when he would go on national, he would blame it on renewable resources like windmills.
Well, you know what irritates me? Nobody, when they talk about that in the news, nobody mentions the fact that in northern Minnesota, we have windmills spinning like crazy at 40 below. So
yeah, because whatever makes them de-ice, our wise Texas planners decided not to buy those because it'd be cheaper to get the other ones.
Yeah,
they were just gambling.
Look at Icarus is here, and he changed his name after what I said yesterday.
That's like buying a car without a freaking radiator. That is or a coolant system. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's smart. Well, they don't believe in climate change, so obviously Texas is going to stay the same forever, except this year.
Well, why didn't they just put up more nuclear stations and say "fuck the windmill"?
Well, the thing is, around 2001, 2002, there was a really bad summer, and we didn't have capacity for that. In 2011, there was a really bad winter, and they had rolling blackouts, and they had local legislatures on the floor of our, in Austin saying we need to prepare for winters. And for the next 10 years, they didn't do that. And we got what happened last week.
Yep.
So, and then what is it about the state of Texas and energy that is unlike any other state in the union? Anybody know?
Oil.
Well, we don't, we're not on the same grid as everybody else.
Right. There's no government regulation because they're not part of the nationwide, like,
they're not on the national grid.
Last week was the GOP / libertarian wet dream come true.
Why?
How so?
They're brilliant.
I know.
All the power went out and everybody had to fend for themselves.
Yeah, that's their wet dream.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Nobody helps each other. Oh, by the way, if you're part of this, if you're running like this small little co-op of supplying power to people, you get to jack their rates up to $10,000 and shit like that. Yep,
Yeah.
that's the libertarian wet dream right there. Oop,
And-
demand's high. Well, you
And
don't
the
want to build a fire. You don't want to build a fire in your living room. Oh, well, you're going to pay me.
And the reason why they let so many people go without electricity is because the utilities, all these independent utilities out there, would have to pay ungodly costs to get this non-network sources of power. And so of course they could try to pass it on to us, but their costs would go up. So they just decided, okay, we're not gonna. It was a planned decision. It was a planned sacrifice of people in order to so they could keep their bottom line.
So what's their opinion of the fucking highways? Out of curiosity. I mean, I'm just kind of curious. What other infrastructure do they just, for some reason, not give a flying fuck about?
All of it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I mean,
I'm just
every individual is supposed to build their own road, build their own bridges, make their own fucking power grid.
Next thing you know, Sound of Music starts playing. Climb every mountain.
My brother's tropical fish froze to death, so he could eat those. So fortunately, he had food. So my
wife said something about somebody's koi pond froze over. I was like, well, they got fresh frozen fish.
Yep, fresh frozen.
Wait a minute. He doesn't own a puffer fish, does he?
My brother? I don't know.
I don't think you'd keep those. I don't think you'd keep those in a pond, John.
I haven't talked to him since he started eating his fish. So,
oh well.
The last I heard of them, they were parked under about 16 blankets and overcoats, trying to huddle together in the living room. And I haven't heard from them for a few days, so you should probably check on them.
I mean, I can, give Texans, that it's not out of the ordinary for them not to be prepared for weather such as this, even though it's happened a couple times before. But I live in the Northeast. Speed lives in a state that gets even more horrible winters than I do. I don't know what your situation at Speed, but myself, I mean, the power could go out right now and I would stay warm and I would still be, I have my box full of DVDs and my, I wouldn't get any internet or TV, but I'd have a bunch of books and a bunch of DVDs I could watch. And I would have light in my place. I would have heat in my place because I have this whole section in my storage room that is stuff I know I don't need right now. And I hope I never need, but there it is if I need it.
Right. Like my box of 10,000 bullets.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I own a gun. It's better to have one and not need one than to need one and not have one.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I could ever get one, so I'm screwed on that department.
I mean, I have a wood burning stove. I've got a electricless clothes washer that you use your hand crank for. I've got, I have all the amenities.
Yeah. I told my brother to come up to Minnesota and warm up because I was basking in 73 degrees and watching television. He was down there freezing his ass off in Texas.
It's 70 degrees today.
Is it?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I was in another world last week.
It's raining though.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually good.
Winter weather's gone. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say that the rain just kind of helps get rid of the snow, what snow there is.
Actually, it's 44 here. Interesting.
But so the winter weather is gone as far as Texas is concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it for the year.
It was short-lived.
They just left with the aftermath of it now. Then okay.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of plumbers are going to be booked up probably through the summer.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, Doubting Thomas. Wait, I don't know if Doubting Thomas lives in Texas, so never mind.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
It's quite a drive for Thomas to Texas.
Oh,
I'm sure if they were paying him some cutthroat rates, I'm sure he'd probably be like, yeah, I'll be on that.
Yeah, right.
$1,000 an hour. Why? You guys are paying $10,000 for people to have power and paying me $1,000 an hour to fix your stupid pipes because you're too stupid to bury them deep enough. It's this new thing, people. It's called insulation.
Jay roasting Texas.
I don't understand. Like you said, that there's like something that de-ices probably much like you have to de-ice a plane that de-ices the wind. But
windmills?
yeah, like you were saying in your
Yeah, I
state.
think they just feed a little bit of the electricity back into some heating
See,
elements.
and that's what I was going to say. Like, why would they have to de-ice it? Why couldn't they just use the windmill itself, the energy that's generating, use a little bit of that to keep it warm?
Well, that's probably how they do it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. But I know they're rolling up there. It's 40 below and you can see them spinning up there and they're generating power. Never had a fucking problem in Minnesota. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with Texas.
Well, and
they got them up in northern Michigan too.
Yeah.
Well, and this is something that the government would probably never suggest. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of municipalities that have zoning laws against it. But the best solution to all this for anybody that has their own property, or even like people who own rental properties, that have several like units or stuff like that, is with the technology that's available today, we should all be generating our own power.
I know.
Well, if you implemented, if you came up with an infrastructure where basically, especially the states that get more sun, and you hook those homes up, and you basically make it like, okay, this is gonna now. I think now for California, it is code that basically all new built homes have solar. You can actually build homes that produce their own power and feed power back into other parts of the community to supply those older places that do not have power.
I mean, the other thing is when you're doing it, like say you're doing it for your home, and I've looked at a lot of videos about this on YouTube, done a lot of reading on it. So if you say build your home with that in mind, then not only can you have solar, you can have redundancies put in to where you have your battery bank and you got the solar on the roof. Maybe you've got like a small windmill out back. Maybe like this one guy, he lived near a stream. He took an old washing machine and converted it into a water powered generator.
Hydroelectric.
Hydroelectric, yeah. I mean, and it's so cool. Like, and he does like an old junker washer, and he was able to turn it into hydroelectric. It was just unbelievable.
Yep. Yeah, out here, that like if you've got the money, that's kind of a thing to do. Like when they start having the power outages and stuff because of fire season, you have a solar system, and then you get the Tesla battery backup system. And when they start doing the rolling brownouts because of the heat and the fires, you're okay because you've got these freaking big ass batteries on the side of your house that have been storing power that you get to use all the time. Well, you get to use in case of a power outage. Plus, they help regulate. They also help to keep power spikes and stuff like that, surges happening inside your home. So they're actually better for your electrical system in your home. Basically, it's like a UPS system for your entire home, an uninterruptible power supply for your entire home.
Anybody feel like beating on Otangelo?
Yeah, I want to see this thing with Otangelo. I want to see that. That's why I actually came in here. I was like,
which one? Oh, you mean?
Yeah, was that what you were going to look at? With where he used that article and boo-booed?
Yeah. Well, it's just let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Crank it up here a little bit. Anyway, he sent me another paper by Douglas Axe, and what happened to Nathan? Oh shit, Nathan. That was a holy shit. Let me see that again. Wow.
Who is that? Oh, is that what he started yesterday?
Yeah.
That's Tour, huh? Did he put the tear? I don't
see it. No, see it.
Is that Nathan? Is that Nathan artwork stuff?
Yeah.
That's it. Those are interesting caricatures.
Yeah, he's still working on it. So anyway,
Dr. James Tour.
so what the fuck is this? What is this dot shit? Okay, so he sent me a paper at midnight, estimating the prevalence of protein sequences by Douglas Axe, and he said roughly 1 in 10 to the 64 signature consistent sequences forms a working domain. So that means one protein out of 10 to the 64th creates a working domain, right? So, but actually the number that I always give them is more liberal. I'll say 1 in 10 to the 72nd. And then I told them 1 in 10 to the 64 makes for how many functional hits? Okay. And he wrote back, did you read the number in red? That number indicates the number of working domains. There's only one. In other words, functional hits, as you asked, the very own sentence which I quoted answers your question. Don't tell me you didn't understand that by yourself. Didn't you? Exclamation. Are you really?
Didn't use a question, but that's fine.
Are you really okay how disrespectful and childish John treats me on your channel? Having that kind of bootlickers and sycophants on your channel, you are soon going to scratch on the bottom of the barrel of stupid. Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
my! He got sensitive really quick.
Yeah.
He doesn't even.
Man,
he doesn't
I must have really hurt him when I went on there drunk and told him to go fuck himself.
Probably.
he doesn't even realize that he is the bottom of our barrel.
I didn't tell him to go fuck himself. I said fuck all y'all, and then I think I called him a South American prick just for fun. But
Yeah.
it was to aggravate him.
You were being quite racist overall here the other day.
I was?
Just fucking with you, dude.
Dude, don't get that shit started. I've got enough shit to clear up from Praise's channel. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
So anyway, the one that read it, you were quoting from the abstract again. Do you know what the total sequence space size is? What was the answer?
I don't get what the just I guess I'm not real savvy with all this. What is he talking about? The domain. What is that in reference to these proteins?
A domain would be an active domain. It would be the part that the part that hooks onto something and actually creates some chemical reaction. It does something. So a protein will have sometimes up to 10 domains. One will latch onto something. The other will flip this a little bit and create this chemical reaction. Another one will do something else. Or proteins frequently have multiple domains. Not all of them are actually doing anything, but it's complicated anyway. So
what is the number? So what does the number actually represent? The number of proteins in that domain?
Okay, we'll get there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But first of all, talking about domains. Okay, imagine you had some sort of in a machine shop that you had a device to hold your work, right?
Okay.
Don't use a machine analogy.
Oh yeah, I'm going to use the machine analogy. Well, that's why we use them, because they explain shit to primates. Primates understand machines. So okay, so you have a holder, and then you have a cutting tool, which is the actual or a bit. The actual thing that does the work. So that's kind of how an enzyme works. It's got like a holder, and that consists of some domains, and then it's got the actual cutting bit, which is another domain. So it's a part of the protein that actually does the work. And then you might have a whole bunch of other shit on that machine that really, like you might have, you might have pinned your fucking girlfriend's picture on it or something. It doesn't do anything. So that's kind of how protein works. Okay. So now if you have a protein with 150 amino acids, there are 20 proteins, 20 amino acids. So to figure out how many different possible proteins you could create with 150 amino acids, you would multiply 20 times 20 times 20 150 times. So it would be 20 to the 150th power. So, and that works out to 10 to the 195th power, roughly. So that's how many different proteins you could make if you had 150 amino acid long protein. Is that clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Anyway, so Douglas Axe did this thing, and he found out that 1 in 10 to the 64 of those proteins are functional. So the problem with that, and I haven't read the whole paper, but if you do some quick math, that means that 1 in 10 to the 123 are functional. And Otangelo doesn't get that part of it. They only see the whole, they don't see the donut. So,
okay.
So there's a lot of ways that you can modify a protein and still have those domains are still functional on a lot of them.
But is he still thinking that number means that's the odds of a protein assembling all on its own out of random?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So he's not talking about that in this.
He doesn't. Right. He doesn't get that. What it's talking about is how many different combinations there could be. Instead, he thinks that's saying that's the odds, the probability of one thing coming out of those that grouping of proteins.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So it would be funny if it were not so sad. Yeah, that's right, Otangelo. If it's pretty sad that you don't really understand what the hell you're talking about. Anyway.
Is he in the live chat now?
He probably is. He will be.
He's lurking.
I thought he wouldn't be back for a week, but I'm pretty sure he'll be back sooner.
Well,
He doesn't matter to me anymore.
maybe Jay would probably be the only one that could see him if he was in the live chat, though. He did say that he blocked all of us before.
Well, you know how the Germans are. They're suckers for abuse. Oh wait, he's Swiss. Swedish? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I forget. He's from somewhere over there.
Somewhere.
Yeah, he's like one of the Swiss that hid the Nazis' money.
So anyway, so John Maddox owes Dr. Dan $500. Now, if you watch that video, John Maddox was offering $500 if you crack the code. And in the whole video, I'm pretty sure it doesn't say any more than that. But then Maddox insists that in his description, he had some other requirements. And I think he may have edited that description after the fact, but I have no proof of that because I didn't, take a screenshot. But
I mean, I don't understand why he would balk at paying the $500. I mean, he can just start a GoFundMe for it.
Yeah, I know. He could. So then he comes on to praise the stream last night, and I'm not entirely, I don't know if my bookmark's right here, but
predetermined time for your moderation.
Wait a minute.
2, I seem to recall you volunteering.
I'm sorry, I gotta.
What's happening?
Okay, John's got to stop. Peterson's got to stop being here because Iron Charioteer is picking up on his humor. Iron Charioteer wrote Swiss. No wonder he has so many holes in his arguments.
Oh no!
Sorry, I had to interrupt for that one.
Okay.
Sorry, I got to chuckle out of that. I apologize.
3,
That's why I tell people when they say "Holy shit," stop eating Swiss cheese.
Holy shit!
Stop eating Swiss cheese. In town, so you had been staying up till like 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, she was in town.
Okay, so what is he? So what's happening here?
And I think that is on both sides. I don't think that's exclusive to atheists.
Well, I agree with you on that. I would agree with you on that. I don't know. It's just I find it very interesting that ad nauseum I am accused of being blind to reality, unable to comprehend, insert whatever concept, and just blind to any and all science, and whatever talking point they want to.
What's your voice is boring as hell?
Science. I'm trying to parse his sentences here. In the beginning, when he first came on, he was talking about me. I'm not sure what the hell was he saying about me. I can't remember. Or was that Joel that was talking? Yeah, Joel was talking about me. Joel couldn't remember. What's his name? Pudding.
Just completely and utterly cognitively overwhelmed by my faith in the Bible and the Sky Daddy. I mean, it's like, have you guys not listened to a word that's come out of my mouth? And myself, just using myself as a rhetorical statement there. Like so many other folks, I have considered your position. like in terms of like whatever talking point they're spewing. Like, I have thought about this, and I haven't just thought about it in the context of God must exist, therefore whatever this guy's saying is wrong. It's like, no, I've actually like contemplated whether or not you're correct. I mean, it's.
I gotta.
Okay.
I want
It's very
Can I
little.
pipe, can I pipe in here?
Yeah, he's contemplated whether they were correct, but Maddox, did you research whether they're correct? Contemplation really is not, a road to truth.
He contemplates a lot. He uses words like plethora, information theory, directly prove, in the code, literal applications. It's just like
What do you got? A glossary of Maddox terms?
I do. I'm working. Well, I'm gonna do a Maddox robot. I'm gonna put. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing.
That's sorry, but it seems like wow, that's pretty interesting. Like for most frequent, it's like a frequently used list of Maddox words.
Yeah, you have to do it. I mean, after a while, it's like, haven't I heard these same fucking words over and over and over again? Yeah, I want to make a bot.
Well, it's just like, I mean, yeah, in a way, these like Maddox, and when he starts talking about science and his code thing and stuff, and then you have Otangelo and his thing about machines and stuff. It's very much just like true empiricism. You just hear the same verbiage over and over and over and over and over, and it's like, oh, cool. True empiricism was. That's why when I was like, oh, great, we have a foreign true empiricism when he came on the scene, because he just. Yeah, instead of motors, propellers, and all that, it was just machines in general.
It would be easy to make a John Maddox soundboard, because you could literally just record him for 10 minutes in any stream he's ever done, and you get all the...
Anybody. I just realized I don't have the most melodious of voices, but my wife says I do when I sing. I guess I don't know. I do so mockingly, but his voice, the tone of his voice, kind of reminds me of. I can't remember the comedian's name. He's an actor. And he was in Role Models, and then there was. Has anybody here seen the movie Role Models?
No.
No, then never mind. I'll find a clip. And then I'll play a comparison.
What he sounds like to me is Quagmire when Quagmire is on the PA system in his airplane.
He always sounds condescending. Also, you notice, like, I don't know whether it's just the inflection of his voice or.
Oh yeah, it is. And he kind of sounds like that guy in a world where the movie announcer.
In a world.
No. See, people like that guy. People like that guy. People hate Maddox. There's a difference.
Yeah, he does the movie trailers and stuff. The future, the polar ice caps have melted, covering the earth and water. Those who have survived have adapted to a new world.
Yeah, that guy.
You give us that sample, and then you give us the fucking intro for Waterworld, one of the worst movies ever. Come on, man.
Dude, it's a cheesy beginning. There's a reason I used it. Come on.
Hey, so we're getting requests in the live chat, Jay. You brought it up. You got to let everybody hear your singing voice now.
No,
which
bullshit.
Role Models.
No, you got to sing something.
Bullshit.
Sing that. That's like a.
You can't make me, and I'll quit. You can't make me. You can't prove I said it, and I'll quit first. Oh wait, this is being recorded. You can't.
Come on, give us a little Danny Boy.
No.
Oh my God! Yeah, when Danny Boy comes in, you should start belting out that song. Danny Boy. Yeah.
You send me. I'll set up a Patreon. You guys can send me some money, and I'll get some scotch, and then you can hear me sing Danny Boy.
Okay, we need to know whether your musical voice is worth paying for, though. So we got to get a sample.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's see. We have a plethora of talking points here on my atheist YouTubes for information theory in any other context.
Yeah. Might I point out real quick, though, that whenever I say anything on this channel, it often ends with Speed saying, well, anyway.
Yeah, John. Like I could say whatever. Who the fuck says that? Oh, that's what Otangelo says that. He did it to Red Fang a couple of times, but Red Fang comes up with an argument, and Otangelo doesn't like the argument, so he says, whatever. And he moves on. It's like
that's what somebody said in my stream this morning in the live chat, because at one point when Otangelo first came in, and I stopped him from going on and reminded him he was in there to answer to a mutable, and then just shortly, did away with it and was like, whatever.
Yeah, whenever anybody does that, that's where that comes. I stick to what Doubting Thomas said. Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing. Nuh-uh.
My best friend has this. She has this perfect whatever that I always know I'm really in trouble with her when she says that. The way she says it, whatever. It's like.
Is there the eye roll too, and like the little shake of the head, like whatever?
Yeah, I'm on the phone with her, but I can hear it in the background. It's like I'm in trouble now. I gotta fucking apologize over something. Whatever.
Doesn't it suck when you know you need to apologize, but you don't know why?
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much explains my entire relationship with females for my entire life. It's like I know I'm fucking wrong, honey, but. Can't fucking figure out why.
Now, have you ever been able to discern the difference between when you were sober and when you were inebriated on some substance?
Yeah, well, that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see if I'm not sure where Maddox gets off on Dan Stern on Dan.
That all atheists do not actually have rational considerations and such, but
what was that?
Big difference.
Who the fuck?
Atheists don't have rational considerations.
Right. Yeah. Atheists don't have
What a walking penis. Anyway.
I like that.
Christ, Maddox.
And there's obviously the occasional exception to the rule, always, but it is a rarity. And I think on YouTube, it's a borderline, paradox, short of divine intervention.
What's a borderline paradox?
Get them to
a borderline paradox. I don't know what the fuck.
Borderline. Anyway.
That's Ted Cruz crossing the border to go to Mexico.
Right to Cancun. Yeah. Borderline paradox. Yeah.
When they looked at him and went, wait a minute, aren't you the guy from Canada? You need to be going north, buddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Be the only honest.
They're talking about Danny now for a while.
And he triggers them. I think the
Danny triggers
Speed crowd.
Oh yeah, we covered
hates Danny as much as any theist.
Did we cover this?
They loathe him.
No,
yeah, you and I
say that.
No, you and I talked about it on my channel last night.
I can't even tell what we're covering because I can't.
I was reminded.
What? What's happening?
I said I can't even tell what it is we're covering because I can't hear it.
Oh, they were talking about Danny, but we're going to switch ahead. I'm trying to get to the part where he gets off on his code challenge.
Oh, there we go.
Because so just what people will be missing there is basically John Maddox brings up Danny, and then Argatha brings up his couple of conversations that he has had with Danny, and then it basically ends, and then Speed's going to be bringing it up where he talks about Dan's code challenge.
Code challenge, yeah. Okay, guys got to say foreskin before you start talking.
Okay, I don't understand. What?
Loudly.
Wait, what?
No foreskin. You didn't use foreskin, John.
Wait, well, he hadn't started yet. What is? I don't understand what Lana or Lena is. I guess
that's the FBI.
Yeah. What did we do? That's.
Oh, you want to tell him, Jay?
Oh. She was getting a kick out of there is a YouTube user by the name of Cheryl Wenzy who's been, I guess she's new to Praise's channel, and when we were talking about when Gavin was bringing up how I supposedly doxed him because I found that article of him, being him suing his ex-wife, in my show in my earlier stream from yesterday, I was using what was going on with Gavin, and I used her as an example, like basically showing basically showing, hey, if so, I see Cheryl Renzi's name here, and I type in Cheryl Renzi's name in Google, and this is what I get. Now, I don't know if that's actually Cheryl Renzi or not. It could be somebody just using a fake name and using an avatar of anybody's face, right?
Right.
So, right, and I said, so I don't really know if Cheryl Renzi is who Cheryl Renzi is. But with Gavin, we knew exactly who he was because he showed himself on TV or on YouTube. Now, he could have been using a fake name, but I just said, well, I wonder if he is using his real name when he was talking about his fight record. And when I did a search, I found an article with his face right there, and it gave his name, so it confirmed who he was, and it was about his lawsuit against his ex. And she goes, you better not do that ever again. I've got 5 FBI agents in my family. They're coming for basically like they're coming for you, you know, kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have better things to do with their time, Cheryl. But
Well, and that begs the question, and I mean that in the colloquial sense. It begs the question, Jay, what are you going to do when they come for you?
When they come for you. But just for the hell of it, I typed Cheryl's name into Google and came up with Instagram, and it had this picture of this Karen-looking woman who's got a big section on with God, you know, all kinds of God sayings. And I'm pretty fucking sure she is using her own name, and she looks like a mad Karen.
Yeah, she kind of confirmed it because she's like, you looked up. They're giving. Well, she at first when I brought it up, she said he's given all of his weirdos my name. He's on his channel right now, giving all of his weirdos, his little whack job followers, my name. I'm like, I'm like, okay, so your name, is Cheryl Renzi, your name? Because I think he just confirmed that it actually is. It was priceless. It was funny as hell.
Hey, she was in your comment section too from your latest video, and did you see her comments?
No, actually, I didn't get notified for those.
Yeah, so she was saying something like, I don't know why I got this in my recommendations. What is your major malfunction? She was asking you. I take it.
Oh, I know exactly how to respond to that. Well, hadn't you heard from Gavin? I'm a security guard at a mall. Fucking bitch.
Jay, when they do come for you, you either have to take your shirt off or wear one of those wife beater T-shirts.
No, dude, I'll make sure I dress up and I wear a pair of bike shorts, a dress shirt, and a fucking tie.
I don't know if everybody noticed this, but Lena, as we've been calling it for so long, is actually pronounced Lena.
Lena, yeah.
She put the extra N in there so that we know how
Is that how you pronounce it too? Lena?
I think that's what she's trying to.
Yeah, we've been mispronouncing it this whole time.
Yeah, okay. So Lena, okay. I will correct that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Well,
yeah, normally.
He will never remember to refer to Maddox as Maddox instead of John, but he will call your name the right name.
I've been doing it. John. I always refer to him as Maddox.
You a little butthurt there, John?
No.
A little resentment?
No.
You get a little resentment.
Oh, hey, John, you can't be that butthurt. When people thought that when Josh or when Smokey was going around and they're like, wait, is his name Jay? And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, you know, I can't be too butthurt because I ain't no virgin.
Yeah. Like Otangelo got butt raped yesterday. I'll never let him forget this. Your spirits were so buoyed by the end of that speech. Oh yes, yeah,
so awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be good. I think till the end of this year, probably over that one. That was pretty good. Every now and then, it all comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yep, I love it.
Sometimes you realize why you put this shit station together.
Yeah, that was the whole reason what happened yesterday. That's why I started this shit last May.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what's even funnier, and we got to find all the ones he was in yesterday and review them. It sent him on a fucking all-day tirade over the entire span of YouTube.
Yeah, pretty good. Okay, let's see if we can find this damn Stern Cardinal stuff.
Real question. I'm advice guy.
Darn it.
So, tentatively, Tuesday night, I shall be having my stream with Dr. Danny Boy on where he'll come on and showcase how his breaking of the code challenge, right, that I put forth.
Okay.
And
I started working on that, by the way.
I mean,
You can put up this Maddox thing on double speed, and you would still fall asleep while he was talking.
Should I kick it up a little bit?
I don't know. It's up to everybody else, but there's no way.
I can speed it up for sure.
Okay, we'll try 1.5 and make sure it's intelligible. Okay. And you forgot to say foreskin. God damn it. CRISPR.
I was just too full of energy.
Oh, CRISPR kind of ruined foreskin for us, but we're going to bring it back. We're bringing it back.
He didn't ruin it for me.
Yeah. He kind of yelled at us about it.
Yeah, he kind of ruined the concept of letting people come into the room.
That too. I should never let you fuckers in here.
Well, no, I'm just saying, usually when somebody comes in the room, they want comment on the topic we're talking about. But.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm going to be a little more careful next time I let him in. What do you want to talk about, CRISPR? Do you want to tell me that I'm incapable of handling StreamYard and I should turn the reins over to somebody younger and more competent than me? Because if that's what you want to talk about, I don't think I'm going to let you back in.
Damn, dude.
Wait, did that actually happen?
That actually
it's not where it's not. It's not where
really
it's
happened. That really happened.
But it is an interesting little dig.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
was he volunteering for the job?
I don't. Maybe he was. Hell, I should have asked him.
Well, that was one hell of a fucking job interview, then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Dan's here and wants to hear what Maddox was saying about him.
Oh, you haven't heard this yet? Okay, I sent you the clip or the timestamp last night at 3 a.m. I think or something.
Yeah, I remember a job interview I had to work at a store, and I just went in there and I said, "Yeah, I'm the man for the job. This place is a shithole."
Did you get it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, let's go.
Slight error in one of the codons.
Fuck, it sounds like he's talking at a normal speed.
That's 1.5, really?
Yeah. He
Try
sounds almost.
Try 1.75.
Okay, Top Dog, do you have an anti-condescension filter that we could run on John? Okay.
Oh, further delineate the point of the specified alphabets.
Did you just give away your cipher that it's in groups of 3?
Oh, I have it spaced out. That it's in groups of 3.
Okay.
I mean, it's codon. It's codons arbitrarily assigned to individual English alphabet letters. It's hilarious. I'm very positive that he ran it through some sort of a code breaker because he somehow solved it in like 12 hours from its publication. I'm just going to go out on a limb that he used some sort of code cracking software.
I was going to write a Python script and just looked at every single letter. And
he just can't believe Dr. Dan is smarter than him. That's the whole thing. No. He is not smarter than me. He used a code breaker.
Yeah.
God, you are smarter than Maddox.
Well, and so Speed did turn it up to 1.75, by the way, and it still sounds like somebody talking at normal speed. How fucking slow is he actually at normal speed? That is fucking insane, man.
He speeds up every now and then. I dropped it back to 1.25.
1.25.
Yeah, it's 1.25. So I think. Okay.
compared, because you could download free dictionaries that have literally like hundreds of millions of words from all kinds of languages.
Oh, who cares?
And it might not interpret what you wanted to interpret, but it'll interpret it as something.
Who gives?
I considered writing something to solve it and thought it was cheating, so I didn't.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward debate. Like I said, the fact that he solved it that quickly, I'm just going to guess he used a pre-existing script, but that's all. That's all type point.
Well, using a code breaker would be a smart thing to do. He didn't specify that you couldn't do that.
Yeah, he always said was break it, and then he changed the rules on it.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, like, he's assuming that that somebody couldn't break a code that he designed unless they cheated. I'm not buying that premise.
Oh, so he has the running commentary as he did it? Okay. Yeah, solve for E, frequency count. That's the first thing you do when you solve a code. Okay, guess T, then H, and then you've got it. Or at least you've got it. But if it was all random, I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, you'll have to show us how you did it. I wasn't going to fucking invest. I thought about it, because I really like messing with codes like that, but I get a little obsessed with them. And I decided I'm not going to give this motherfucker 1 minute of my time.
Well, now for guys that know about this topic, what does Randolph mean? Breaking codes is all about cheating.
Yeah, it is. That's what you do. You like the letter E is the most frequent letter, and you have a frequency chart, and you can do all kinds of shit like that, and that's kind of what programs do. So,
and then
there was Wheel of Fortune after that. Oh, Wheel of Fortune, cool. Okay, awesome.
So it's like what's that thing in the paper? It's not the jumble. It's the crypto quip. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The jumble. It's the crypto quip.
Oh, God damn it. Otangelo, you're echoing. Otangelo's here. Otangelo's here.
Wait a minute. Move that fucking comment.
What? Oh. There's Otangelo.
Wait a minute. I thought you were never coming back.
He didn't say that.
I thought you blocked all of us.
Well, he blocked us, but that was only yesterday. Today's another day. The man has a big heart. He forgives quickly.
I don't think it's Otangelo.
Well, he hasn't. Yeah, it was Otangelo because he had the video playing in the background. Pretty sure it was him. Pretty sure it was him.
Well, if it's the video playing in the background as the evidence, it could have been you.
Could have been me too, yeah, but I don't look like that. So,
Otangelo, you with us, buddy, or is this someone else?
No, it's me.
It's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's him.
Okay, let's play this.
He must have.
So when I'm actually
Is somebody talking?
He must have really liked that butt stuff yesterday. He came back for.
We're
Well,
gonna get kinky.
I just put the quote here in the side chat, and what I wrote to you in my email, actually, Speed, is quite the contrary. You didn't do anything rather than claiming nonsense, and everyone in the room thought that you were right somehow, and that demonstrates that nobody of your entire crowd has actually a clue at all about what is being said in that science paper. So, no, nobody of you had any reason to laugh at me at all.
Okay, Otangelo, we'll get to it after the John clip. We'll try to straighten you out a little bit on this stuff.
Let me just give you a link here. I will stream in 3 minutes, a 4 minutes video at my channel, Go Talk. And I think it's pretty fun. If you guys want to see it, then I'll give you the link.
Do we have the link? Oh, okay.
Can we play it here and now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it will be a premiere, so it will in 3 minutes it will start. So,
how long is it, the premiere?
4 minutes.
Okay,
it's a short,
so
it's a short thing.
We'll wait for you to premiere it, and then we'll look at it after we look at this Maddox stuff.
Okay.
Very good.
But go ahead and put it in the private chat. Okay, got it.
Let's hear the private chat.
Okay, we'll watch. So you're dismissed. Okay, so can we get on with this? It's not that long.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I did
Go for it.
challenge was I expected somebody to solve it. Because it's not that complicated. I didn't put in a bunch of crazy additional variables. It's literally 1-to-1 alphabet. Like you just got to figure out, what it is, right? And I expected it to be solved. I think these morons think that I didn't think anybody would solve it, which I think is pretty funny. But anyway,
I don't think he really did.
First thing I did was try to figure out which one lines up with atheist. I was looking for atheists.
Yeah. Part of my objective of this is, that's what I'm getting to my question. So part of my objective, and have it to be Danny Boy, is just, it's too good. I really wanted, my purpose behind this was to, in a one-on-one, face-to-face, oh, you broke the code, awesome, force them to either accept that the genetic code is literal, or in spite of what they will have to have delineated in terms of how they solved it, because that's one of the terms to win.
Delineate?
They will have to publicly disavow the logic they just outlined and how they now are supposed to, they're justified in receiving $500, doesn't apply to the freaking codons that I used for the freaking alphabets.
What?
Or the target alphabet, or the source alphabet, I guess, in this context. Does that make sense?
Force man.
See, he's weaseling out of it, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's weaseling out of it, and it wasn't the codon part; it was the English part.
Yeah.
So it really had nothing to do with it. He could have used any code whatsoever. He could have used bunnies and bears and puppy dogs, and it was the English that Creation Myth solved it with.
And so the guy who had to start a GoFundMe to do a debate, he says he expected someone would solve it, so he just had $500 burning a hole in his pocket. What?
No, he expected somebody would solve it, but now he's adding these caveats because he didn't really think anybody would solve it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's claiming he thought someone. He said just a few minutes ago, I knew somebody would solve it.
Yeah, because he's a lying piece of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So let's listen to. But I still haven't understood what he expects Dr. Dan to do. I think what in order to get the $500, you have to solve the code. Then you have to say, John, you were right. It was intelligent design, and then he will give you the $500. I think. So, I don't know. That's how I would play it, Dr. Dan. Just go on there and say, yeah, John. I'm a convert. You got me. Give me my $500. And then you just do a retraction video next week. What the fuck?
Yeah. Did you have to pay him?
Huh?
Okay. Did you pay him the 500?
No, I have not yet. This will be part of the only other terms. You have to come on and do a live stream, and you have to come on. You have to solve the code.
He didn't say that.
You have to come on and do a live stream. You have to explain your process of how you solved it.
Uh-oh.
And then you have to delineate why the logic does not apply to the genetic code.
Nice.
Delineate why the logic does not apply to genetic code. Okay, what the fuck? So that is that's his out right there. Anyway, watch how he plays that. It's going to be on Tuesday, so that's tomorrow. So,
100, man. And the fact that it's Dr. Danny Boy is even better because that little fucktard has excuse me, Brent, in both streams on my channel, streams on other channels, and in an email chain, has publicly denounced the fact that he has quoted that quote, information theory has no bearing on biology. He has.
If his answer is stupid, would you still give him the money? Like if he has an answer, but it's ridiculous.
Oh well, okay. Let me get to the whole point of the question I'm asking. So,
okay.
All right, listen. If I end up, unless he's completely tanks on all this stuff, I'm gonna pay $500. I don't care.
Yeah, he don't care.
I went into this with the expectation of trying to pay $500. It's so good. The value, potential value of this. Just I'm talking from not from a monetary perspective. I mean from a just personal gratification and content. To just annihilate the atheist talking points, it'll be worth every penny. So here's the point of where I'm asking all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give I've had multiple people actually ask me about this, but it's part of the reason I've been holding off on is to get to this point with this challenge. Is I'm going to do a short lecture and break down in detail the basics of communication theory, code mapping, source alphabet, target alphabet. Value assignment, and just the basic fundamentals of code.
He's going to give us the basics of information theory. I can't fucking wait.
Well, and here's I was a Christian for 35 years, and I can't remember what book it was in, but I do remember the scripture. Lo, he who is smarter than you is just a lowly fucktard. Is that what he called him? Yeah.
I think that was it.
That's First Hesitations out of the Sam's Choice Walmart Bible.
Yeah, okay.
Right, what it is, the formal language definitions of code, the parameters for it, do a short overview of what Shannon information is, and the development of the Shannon-Weaver communication model, and things of that nature.
That's going to be good.
And then go into a how this applies to genetic code, right? Genetics in general. And then I've got a plethora of, what I've been doing tonight working on here. I've got a plethora of.
Okay, that's the third time he's used plethora since he's been on. Third or fourth time.
Are we still on like 1.25?
Which go into extraordinary detail about this concept, right? Basically back up every point I'm going to have made about information theory itself, right, and coding and everything, and then papers specifically on the genetic code that directly prove that all of the points I have made about information theory and communication theory in the and code are not figurative, not metaphor, not analogy, but are literal applications to the genetic code. And then, okay, so we're multiple. My question, that's the concept, right? So then the question I have for you is, I'm debating on whether or not I do this in full, like from top to bottom, like the overview plus how it applies to genetic code, then have Danny Boy issue his defense, or do like the first half of just the general aspects of communication theory, et cetera, let him make his case, and then go into the secondary part about how everything I've talked about first applies to genetics, because I'm guessing he's probably going to be denying it or trying to dance and dodge. You guys follow my thought process here?
I think so.
Yeah. So what do you all's opinion? What's y'all's opinion? Should I go top to bottom, then let him do his thing, then go top to bottom, or do part one, let him go?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, always let him go first. Let him.
How do you hold
Hold
on?
on.
Nail his own
Hang
coffin.
himself.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What do you mean hold on?
I mean,
There's.
oh, okay, foreskin. Jesus Christ.
We have rules on this channel,
I
John.
know, foreskin. No, I just wanted to really quick say there's no doubt in my mind that Maddox was a bottom. So, all right.
Okay.
Well,
Ask
I
him.
mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like you could tell him, you could reiterate the rules by which he has to satisfy the requirement for receiving the cash, or you could assume, or not assume, but for the pleasure of seeing him fail, not remind him what all of the rules are, and then refer back to them later, which is important. You got to have those. You got to have those things on hand, like the rules. This you have to have the original post, right? These are the things that I laid out. These are the requirements. Did you read all of them? And actually, maybe open with that. Maybe open with.
So, Dr. Dan, did he change the description sometime in the last, since he issued the code challenge? Because I don't know, we have to look at his description and see what he laid out. But this bullshit, I listened to the video and I don't remember these rules. I don't know. We'll have to listen to it again. I don't know. But I'd like to know what you think of that changing the rules bullshit, Dr. Dan.
Oh yeah.
Did you read all of the requirements?
Oh yeah, I'll have done a full like a little intro segment and welcome everybody. Here's what's going to happen tonight. All that. I'll done all that jazz. I'm talking about from a because basically like I'm gonna put together a full like PowerPoint on this deal, right? This will be no mercy. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like you're dealing with an atheist here.
No
so
mercy.
You have to have absolute proof. The closest that you can get.
Absolute proof.
This is what you said originally.
Foreskin.
No.
Yeah.
Just to interject really quick, I just went and started to check it out. We are going to have, from the first second, we are going to have so much fun looking at Otangelo's premiere that just went off a few minutes ago. It is so fun.
Is it excellent?
It's a dumpster fire from second one, dude. I'm not even going to tell you about it. Just wait till we play it. It is fucking awesome.
I think we're almost done here with
Yeah.
Johnny.
Oh my God.
What did I call him, Johnny? Maddox.
You won't even believe
for me, this is not about beating him up with money. Okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't care about that. This
right.
How long do you have to drive an Uber to make $500?
But there's a good chance that he'll whine about that.
All
right.
You
Well, you changed it. He's going to start attacking your character ad hominem instead of.
Dude.
We are.
If I give him the $500, he can kiss my literal ass on talking trash. So I don't care about that. The point I'm making is, I had dumbass atheists. Speed of pudding, by the way, which one of them last Wednesday came on one of my streams and was talking trash about the fact that A, I hadn't said whether or not he's won. B, I hadn't paid him. And C, therefore, I was obviously, BSing, wasn't actually going to do it. And I'm like, it's literally stated that you have until this coming Saturday for people to submit their potential answers. So why the hell would I have paid somebody
My bad.
3 days before the contest is over?
I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, and then he talks more trash and then left. And it's like, the contest isn't over. Why would I have paid anybody? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm just getting a jump on this whole thing because I know he's not going to fucking pay the money.
Well, wait a minute. And the other thing is that him saying the contest isn't over then kind of leads to the idea that he's going to pay everybody that solves at $500. It's not the first person that solved it.
No, he's going to split the $500. He did say that in the beginning.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so if he actually pays Dr. Dan the money, I suggest that post-COVID, we all fly down there and Dr. Dan save the money and buy us chicken wings or some fucking thing, and we'll come down and have a party because it's not going to happen anyway. Let's see. I mean, that works both ways. Pay me $500 and I don't give a fuck what you say for the next 9 hours. That's pretty good. Okay.
Hey, Otangelo's back in the live chat, man.
Hey, you're back. There was a deadline.
So whenever we're ready for his
Okay,
video.
we'll go find Otangelo's video.
He had linked it in the private chat.
Oh, I'm incompetent. I can't find my private chat. There it is. Okay, got to stop it. Okay. Drag it over here. Got to do some things. Production values are us. Okay. Working on it. What the hell's the name of it? What the fuck? Fuck you, YouTube. I don't want to try your fucking. Okay, what do they have to say about God? Neil deGrasse?
Just go ahead and.
Is that it?
Yep, Neil deGrasse Tyson is the first person in the video.
What the fuck? Oh shit!
It's Otangelo used the site that I posted yesterday that turns text into character speech.
Yeah. Yep. Just go ahead. You're gonna love it. We're gonna have to stop it after like the first 20 seconds. But just look what he did. It is the most hilarious fucking thing in the world.
Okay, rolling.
Something cannot come from nothing. The universe is like the giant clock that was wound up and is now winding down. Unless the second law could be violated, it means the universe had a start. Since that is so, a being must have existed beyond the universe, causing the Big Bang. The physical laws of the universe require a lawmaker. The universe is finally tuned for life. Tuning requires.
Wait a minute, what'd you do?
What? Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm sorry.
Speed is off his game today.
I keep thinking that Nathan Hart dropped out because Nathan has a screen and I keep clicking it because it's gray. So
well, and then just please notice that below this nonsense that Otangelo typed out himself and then put into an app to make it sound like Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying it. He put Neil deGrasse Tyson's name underneath the text as if this is actually something that Neil deGrasse Tyson said.
Okay, I'm going to download this. I'm going to download this.
Yeah, Otangelo, that what you're doing is wow. I don't even know what the fuck to say to you.
I think I'm going to send this to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It'd be nice, huh?
Just I don't know. He might have a problem with it. Not sure.
I listened to the first one. Neil deGrasse Tyson has never said this.
No, I know.
He is not a. Well, I'm not saying that because I thought you guys didn't know that. I'm saying it.
No, we know that.
True. Neil deGrasse Tyson never said this. He didn't get Neil deGrasse Tyson's name right, and Neil deGrasse Tyson is not.
Oh, it says
is
Neil deGrasse. So Neil deGrasse.
And is on record as having said he doesn't care whether a God exists or not.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I don't think what Otangelo is doing here is necessarily illegal, but it is very much unethical. He's literally lying about what somebody said to support his position.
Well,
but
were
I
you
don't
here-
think he would put any of that past him to begin
Leo,
with.
were you here though when Top Dog just said a minute ago it was like an app or a
He showed him how to do it.
Yeah,
program that
yeah, you can do that.
yeah.
I blame Top Dog for this video.
Yep.
All right, let's
Miracle existed data demonstrate that the probability of finding even one planet with the capacity to support life falls short of 1 chance in 10 to the 150th power. Since we are unique, then what that
This
means
is so bad.
something very, 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 very special about the origin of life on this planet. If we are the only one that's developed life, then the origin
But
of life
wait, can you
can
foreskin?
be an ex-
Foreskin. Like it doesn't even work if you use Spock because he's an alien.
But he's a character.
I don't know enough
Jesus.
about Star Trek, but I would venture to guess that this is probably not a quote that could be attributed to the character Spock. Or
No,
the
it
actual
isn't.
writer.
It isn't, Leo, and it's even funnier because oh, gee, you know what? I can't talk.
because it's even funnier because Star Trek is a show about the universe literally being filled with sentient life.
Right.
extremely
And
improbable
using-
event. The more unlikely, the more probable God.
Do we have to endure it all?
Yes,
I kind of want to.
Computer program far more advanced than any software ever created. The origin of the software directing the making of factories based on the software instructions is always the result of intelligence. DNA directs the making of cells, which are factories full of machines more complex than any factory made by engineers. The simplest free living bacteria has 1.3 million base pairs. Chance to get the sequence randomly is 10 to the 700,000th of power.
Yeah, foreskin. Angelo, thanks for this video. I needed a fucking laugh today.
Look, I'd like to listen to the whole thing since it's only 4 minutes long. But
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, thank you for stopping at midnight because I would just like to say, bravo, bravissimo. Otangelo, you outdid yourself from yesterday. This is
Also, I don't. Number one, this is like the third or fourth mistake that the reader has made. It's not reading exactly the same words that are
Yeah,
on
I
the
know.
screen,
It isn't.
which is kind of not a good thing. I know Bill Gates has stated something that DNA is like a computer program, but it's more advanced. But in terms of the rest of this quote, I'm almost positive Bill Gates has never said that.
Well, wait,
You can read it and tell that it's. You can read it and tell that it's
I
probably
understand, but
something
Leo,
that
hold on.
Otangelo
You're explaining something to us and the listeners that needs no explanation. We already know that these are Otangelo's words, and he used a program to generate the audio.
Yeah.
Well, there might be people in the audience that don't actually know that.
Well,
That's
yes,
why
because we
it's fine.
prefaced the video by saying it.
Wow, look at that. What did I do? What did I do? Look at that. Wasn't that cool?
It's the frame rate of recording.
Oh, now I got to put a warning for epileptics on this fucking.
No, you don't. There's
Good
hope
warning.
God they don't watch.
Okay.
The most extensive genetics study ever completed in the Journal of Human Evolution in 2018 revealed no genetic evidence for evolution. Complex assembly
Wait, what did it just? What did he just say?
in 33 genetics,
Read it.
and at least 41 epigenetic codes, signaling networks on
Foreskin.
a structural level in an
We're not going to get through this thing.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
it's
Go
only
ahead,
4
Leo.
fucking minutes long. Let him play it, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
All
I
right.
would rather go through it one person at a time and laugh.
Well,
at the
that's
fact
okay.
that
I mean, I want to hear the whole
people
thing, and if you
actually
can't
think
remember
that
what you're going to say, write a little note for yourself.
Literally, Attenborough narrates like shows on evolution. He has never once in his life said there's no genetic evidence.
We know that.
I don't know why. What did Otangelo think he was going to get out of doing this? Like, what is the
I don't know,
point?
but can we watch the rest of it before we blab?
Yeah, we
around
are going to watch
about it?
the rest of it. We're like already halfway through it. What's the big deal?
I mean, because it's we're stopping it to say shit that we all already know, and also the fact that it's literally only 4 minutes long, and like if we stop it every 20 seconds in a 4-minute video, it's going to take us an hour to look at it.
and
No,
we
it's
don't
not.
have an hour.
And it would be so much easier that while the 4-minute video is playing, write down a little note for yourself about the points you want to make when we're done watching.
Complex information.
I don't write down points. I just take it one.
Okay, well, then you're an idiot.
Okay,
Well,
let's
no,
go.
it's just
Make it
actually
gentle
easier for
fashion,
people to
explain
understand it when you do it that
complexity.
way.
Evolution does not produce the complex information stored in DNA, or the molecular machines and cell factories. The creative act of an intelligent designer
shit.
and intellect does.
You guys are fucked now. I'm gonna let this play because FedEx found out I was live and they just delivered a package, so I'll be right back.
The intelligent design theory is the fundamental idea in all of life science and all of biology. If you believe in evolution, you're just not going to get the right answer. Your whole world is just going to be a mystery instead of an exciting place where you can learn, explore, discover, and be amazed about God's unfathomable creative power. As Sagan said, when you're in love, you want to tell the world. So once in a while, I get people that claim they don't believe in God, and I ask, why not?
This is so dumb.
Once people died, it's over. No way back. Ain't no return. Make the right choice as long as you can. There will be a time where you cannot repent anymore and surrender to Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Unbelievers are without excuse. God's divine power has been clearly seen in the nature of what some who were elect to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt.
I am Jesus Christ. I am the Lord. I am the way, the truth, and life. I came to the world to die on the cross for your sins. Nobody comes to the Father than through me. I have come that you may have life, and have it to the full. If you listen to my voice, you will know me. If you believe and have not received me as your Lord, you can receive me now. See in the description panel of this video, and there is a link where you can find out how to be born again and receive eternal life.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it. You know, Tangelo, if you're listening, you missed a really awesome opportunity there when you did Arnold Schwarzenegger, because you could have had him say, and as I remember Jesus saying, I'll be back. You know, could have done that.
There was a Mad TV skit that did really well on that.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of spoiled at the end, too. But
You know, and then did somebody, anybody else hear when the Attenborough voice was going on, he said DNA?
Really? Yeah, it does have problems with AI transcoding the sound bits into text properly.
Yeah.
I just got a new book of stupid from Bodie Hodges and Ken Ham.
Oh, wow.
The Glass House. Shattering the, oh my God, this is precious. I love what they did with the cover. It's fucking excellent. Oh,
Can you show the cover again?
I'm going to try. Okay. I don't want to remove the wrong thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, so anyway, see what they did with the cover? Isn't that clever?
I can't, you're going to back it up a little bit.
Yeah, you have to back it up.
Oh, really?
Glass house shattering.
Yeah, I'm showing the
oh, magic.
Oh, do you see what they did? Isn't that clever how they did that?
Of evolution. Oh, they're so witty.
Oh, this is so witty. Yes.
You're not passive aggressive at all.
I love these guys.
Well, were you able to listen to the end of that when you were doing what you were doing, Speed? Did you hear the end of that?
I did, but I didn't see what the character was.
Well, the last one was supposed to be Jesus, and it was so fitting. That was the most fake sounding voice of all.
Yeah, that was a bad Jesus. What the hell? Well, Arnold was on there. Oh, I missed Arnold. Oh my God!
Right, he didn't miss Arnold. He used Arnold, and he didn't even, have him say that Jesus said, "I'll be back."
I had to go double check his channel just to make sure that he actually posted it, because I can't believe somebody posted something with Bill Nye supposedly saying that if you go with evolution, you won't be led to truth. You know, the same guy who debated Ken Ham on evolution taking the affirmative.
I wonder if
You
Bill Nye
downloaded it already, right, Speed?
Yeah, I downloaded it.
The link that Top Dog posted just now to that Terminator versus Jesus. Has anybody not seen that one?
What the fuck is this one? Who is this?
John Peterson, Jesus Loves You. What if it's not, since he has more time on his hands?
I don't know.
I love the image. God damn it. God damn it.
It's Smokey's supposed mugshot.
No.
Yeah, I know, John. Talk about explaining things that don't need to explain.
Oh no. Anyway, okay. So, what the fuck? Okay, so Otangelo on those protein spaces. Now, it's 1 in 64. So what you do is you divide the total number of proteins that are possible with 150 characters. You divide that by 1 in 64, basically. And it leaves a whole hell of a lot of proteins, basically. So anyway. So you got it wrong. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of functional proteins in any particular protein space. That's the point. And that's how evolution happens. And the other thing is that the functional parts are in a cloud, so they're in a neighborhood. And the question, the thing that we haven't yet solved yet is how close those different neighborhoods are and how mutations could transform you from one of those neighborhoods to another. But it's a huge math problem. But I could have got the math wrong. And I want, because fucking exponential numbers, I hate them. but anyway, I'm pretty sure that's how you do it.
I feel compelled to share something with the audience, given the new person in the live chat.
Who's here?
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Nice singing voice.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. You're hired. You'll be our new Danny Boy singer for the
Speaking
stream.
of Danny, where the fuck has he been?
I don't know. Well, he's writing his paper. I wanted to beat on Danny some this week, and I haven't had an opportunity. I want to beat him up on natural selection. Actually, I want to have a one-on-one conversation with him about that, because that's the only way that we're going to communicate on it and stay calm.
Yeah.
Just do a one-on-one.
Well, and then you do realize when you do a one-on-one with Danny, it's actually like a 1.5 on half. Like,
Yeah.
'cause you only get to talk about 25% of the time.
Well, I can remove them as often as I have to if it's on this stream. But he is going to talk to Dr. Dan about that, and he's making Dr. Dan read Jerry Fodor's book, and I feel very bad about that. I don't think Dr. Dan should read that book. That book sucks.
I mean, honestly, philosophy of science is important, but it shouldn't be the end-all be-all in science. You know?
Well, it's important, but when you have some philosopher asshole telling you you can't use natural selection anymore, guys, us philosophers decided. That's
why the fuck would Fodor even? You know, I will need to read his book one of these fucking days.
Oh, I have a question. Is Fodor like an actual biologist? He's taking
biology.
He's
a philosopher.
So, okay, so is he
He's a linguist,
a biologist, or a philosopher of biology?
Who?
This Fodor guy.
Oh, he's a linguist.
So what's his first name? No formal education.
I think it's Jerry Fodor. He's dead, and he came up with he was the one that came up with the theory that in the mind there's an actual language of thought that's genetically created, and he got hammered for 30 years, and then he went on. In the last part of his life, he turned his attention to pissing off everybody in evolution.
So wait, was he talking about genetics? Like, was he talking about that human DNA is configured for language?
No, he was talking about that. The brain got wired with some basics for the language of thought, and that's where language came from. That it was like, at least that's my understanding of it. That it was wired right into the mind rather than developed through plasticity after you were born. And
so he's making this assertion based on philosophy and not on neurology, or is he just thinking it up, or is he actually?
I read a quote that came from the book, What Darwin Got Wrong, that he did with Massimo Piatelli Palmarini.
Oh,
and it goes, quote, they said no, that's not the name. That's not the name. It's Massimo Piatelli Palmarini. There's no G's in there at all. In which they describe neo-Darwinists as quote unquote distressingly uncritical, and say of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution that it quote, it overestimates the contribution the environment makes in shaping the phenotype of a species and correspondingly underestimates the effects of endogenous variables, end quote. That is the most positively ignorant of biology statement that I could have ever seen come out of a book that attempts to talk about biology.
This is
Anybody
Fodor?
who honestly thinks this is what Fodor and Piatelli Palmarini wrote in their book, that's a quote from their book, What Darwin Got Wrong in 2010. You have to be very ignorant of evolutionary biology to think that statement could even be remotely true. If that's what Danny's referring to, then he has to be equally as ignorant of modern biology.
Yeah,
but hold on. I'm gonna make a joke. But Leo, he knows philosophy according to Speed.
I don't give a shit. This is the problem with a lot of philosophers, and this is where I would argue philosophers make philosophy look bad, is when they think that philosophy somehow trumps every other subject, and it doesn't matter what empirical data we have for something. What matters is the philosophy behind it. How
Why do you think
that's stupid? And so, like when Danny says things like he doesn't care about having discussions on the the empirical facts, I'm just like, that might be why you seem to struggle when you have discussions concerning science.
Leo, why do you think I dislike Danny so much?
I don't dislike him. I just think, and I think that he's very smart. I think that knows his philosophy well. I think that he just gives more credence to philosophy over the science when talking about
we disagree on that.
Okay, so we should probably at least mention that Fodor did have some contributions in language. So American philosopher, let's say his writings in these fields laid the groundwork for the modularity of the mind and language of thought hypothesis, but those have been pretty much shot to death. Let's see.
So where did the language come from? Like, how the hell did, never mind. That's a deep dive for me to go into.
Hells of a long story. There's some really good videos from the Royal Society, I think, or somewhere else, or else PBS just came out on. There's a guy that believes it developed like 2 million years ago. That was the start of language. So anyway, so Fodor was known to be provocative and sometimes polemical in his style of argumentation. A lot of people hated him. He kind of shot his mouth off. Let's see. So he thinks there are like modules or organs which he defines by their causal and functional roles in the mind in language, and it's pretty far off the mark, I think, compared to what they've discovered in neuroscience about language. So what he made contributions to linguistics.
What I can say is that Fodor definitely received a lot of criticism from scientists and philosophers. A lot of criticism. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, because people who are pioneering a field will generally receive a lot of criticism, but it does seem like a lot of the criticism is well founded. And I'm not saying this to like necessarily discredit Fodor, just that it seemed that a lot of his concepts, he was mistaken about and seemed unwilling to accept honest criticism from his peers on them.
Yeah. Yeah, and he also emerged as a prominent critic of what he characterized as the ill-grounded Darwinian and neo-Darwinian theories of natural selection. And it's sort of, he's basically trying to poke holes in something that everybody understood had holes to begin with. And he was trying to draw our attention to the holes and saying, look at the holes, obviously it doesn't work. And I think Danny's discussion with Dr. Dan, and hopefully his discussion with me, will identify what the problem with all this is. So that's what I'm hoping. Anyway.
So Top Dog, I just checked out that video. fucking hilarious.
Yep.
How do you remember all that shit?
I'm a master of media or
Well, that Matt TV
entertainment stuff.
thing is a classic.
He's got like what do you got? A couple terabytes of videos downloaded?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, boys
Yeah,
and girls.
Scott Dugas is Jesus a good tipper, but no, I don't think Jesus was circumcised.
Okay. I got that.
All right. So what time is it?
Crickets. It's
Yeah.
22. We could wrap it up, guys.
I've often noticed that oftentimes my comments shut the room down. Yeah.
I gotta reread this Acts paper and do some work and talk to Otangelo, see if I can get him to understand what's wrong with his idea.
Yeah. I don't.
He's interpreting that number very, very wrong. Okay, Fodor is spot on. Listen to this. He's gonna double down on fucking Fodor. Oh my god. Languages.
He says I'm wrong as usual, but last night he got shown wrong on a paper that he cited and made a very, very pitiful and explicitly disingenuous attempt at backpedaling on it. And that's not the first time he's done that on just specifically this channel. But he's saying I'm wrong as usual, which just kind of further substantiates the point that he is almost wrong. He's wrong on almost everything he ever says.
And he badmouthed and denounced his own paper that he brought for examination. That's just so beautiful.
Hey, Otangelo, do you remember yesterday when we butt raped you over your paper?
The Holy Foreskin disagrees with you, John.
Anyway. Oh my god. I think I'm dying.
No, so he was circumcised. I figured that he wasn't. Yeah. No way.
Well, you see, I was going to make that point to you, John, but I didn't know if by doing so I would be looking silly for saying something obvious. So I don't know. I guess I just sort of missed the whole thing.
No, you weren't. It wouldn't have been obvious because I didn't know Jesus. Was, I mean,
Yeah,
I
like
guess
there's a whole segment out of like Luke or whatever or Matthew where they take him to get circumcised.
oh, there's the tear now. Or is that just a contour in his cheek?
Hey, you're an artist, man.
So, Dak is here. Dak, we're just about to wrap up.
Yeah, I know. I just, since you're getting onto the language thing, I just thought if it's all right, I would like to say a couple of things about that.
Oh, Fodor, yeah.
I mean, I was sort of half listening on parts of it and, fully listening on other parts. So I'm not sure if I got the whole argument, but the whole thing is, well, I was just thinking, if they were trying to say that that the very basics of language evolved genetically, I would agree with that, but it's real basic stuff. I mean, like recognizing facial expressions and things like that. I mean, babies are basically born with a certain innate ability to recognize facial expressions, which is one of the reasons why humans make mistakes like thinking that somebody is angry all the time when they're not, because they have a face that person interprets as angry.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that, but Fodor went further and he believed that there were all kinds of constructs that created the language of thought, and that language was based on that.
That was what I was getting from what you were saying. And here's the thing. There would be an extreme disadvantage to language having evolved that way in terms of time. Biological evolution is a very, very slow thing. It wouldn't be as slow if it worked like Lamarck thought it worked. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Lamarckian biological evolution would be a heck of a lot faster than Darwinian biological evolution, which even Darwinian biological evolution, he wasn't sure that Lamarck's ideas weren't true. But he added some stuff to it that had its restrictions. And so if you go to the modern theory of biological evolution, it would be way slower even than what Darwin thought.
Yeah.
So
gotta go, guys.
However,
okay, later.
However, if you could imagine for a moment evolution working the way Lamarck thought it did in biology, where like if you worked your arms really hard lifting weights all day, that your child would be born with big biceps and have a head start on weightlifting. If it worked that way, then yeah, languages could have been programmed into our genetics simply by using them.
Yeah,
but that's not
that
how biological.
That would have been a disadvantage.
That's not how biological evolution works. Well, that would have been a huge advantage actually if it actually worked that way. But it doesn't work that way. That's not how biological evolution works. It is, however, how language evolution works. That we can learn a language over our lifetime and then pass it on to our children the way we've learned it as an adult. Yeah. But that's not passed on before they're born. So they're not born with that. And the evidence in that is the fact that they're not born with a language.
So I was going to ask you about let's see, there was some theory that children from 0 to 13 are the ones that actually create and modify language. And it was based on something that happened in the Philippines or somewhere like that.
I'm not sure the exact.
The
I can
children develop
speak to that, but I'm not sure the exact ages. Yeah, and anytime you have what's called a pidgin, and this is a funny thing because there are a bunch of languages out there that are named pidgin, and the way that happened is the English word pigeon, not meaning the bird, but pigeon as in a means of communication. That word refers to a language-based communication that has no grammar in it. That's formed basically when two or more people get together and they don't share a language in common. And so they pick up bits and pieces of each other's vocabulary, and they use the words that each other knows to form a shared form of communication without grammar. And what happens is young children, and again, I don't know the exact ages. I don't think anybody does. And you can try to put numbers on it, but, I'm sure it has what those numbers are really going to be is going to vary from child to child as well. But
there was something about the adults are capable of creating words, but it took the youth to create a grammar.
Yeah, that is a natural thing that our brains do. That they'll take that vocabulary and they will build a grammar around the vocabulary. But one of the interesting things about that is that grammar doesn't have to be in any sense directly derived from the grammars of the languages that the words came from. It just has to be self-consistent, like when philosophers talk about things that have nothing at all to do with reality, but they're self-consistent in their arguments, so they can still argue a point. You can make stuff up and literally say we're gonna define this way and that way, and now we're gonna have a philosophical argument about these things, and we've never encountered these things, but we can still have an internally consistent philosophical argument. And this happens. And
by the way, look at the cup in the upper left hand corner.
I see that.
Anyway, yeah.
And when a grammar is put into a pidgin like that forms what's called a Creole, and it's a very rudimentary language with a very consistent, generally very consistent grammar. And this is actually the sort of thing that I've been trying to encourage humanity to produce on purpose, because it is something that we can do, and adults can do it. Adults can do it on purpose. Children do it without realizing they're doing it. It just comes naturally, like painting a scene, rather than painting something that you've actually seen in the world, or something similar to things you've seen in the world, rather than painting abstract art.
Yep.
It's just it's kind of how our brains work. So that's why I said that there are some basics that are built in, the linguistics, you know, the structure of language. A lot of things about language seem to be, in most people, largely controlled in the Broca's area of the left frontal lobe. It's not all there, and it doesn't even have to be. As a matter of fact, the same functionality is sometimes found in the right side of a person's brain rather than the left side. And so, yeah, there is fluidity there. There is the ability for the brain, for example, to have damage early in life, and then basically program other parts of the brain to do what the damaged parts would have otherwise been doing. And
the temporal lobe, where Broca's area and Wernicke's is also very close to the temporoparietal junction, which is where the two different flows of visual information, motion and basically 3D shape, come together with object recognition. And so it's pretty obvious how that has something to do with the development of language. I've got a book called The Biological...
Yeah, it's putting stuff together.
Or something. But anyway, the one thing that Danny taught us is you can make up anything that has nothing to do with reality and make an argument out of it. And we appreciate that Danny taught us that you can just make shit up and come up with it.
That is both the strong point and the weak point of philosophy, in my opinion. And it's why I dropped my philosophy major years ago and decided to study other things. A big part of why, because I found that regardless of the ideas behind philosophy, and there are some very useful applications of philosophy, but in spite of that, it very often ends up distilled down to arguments about arguments about arguments about arguments, and it really never gets anywhere. Now, I'm not saying it can't get anywhere, but I mean, in and of itself, without other stuff to ground it, philosophy basically becomes useless. It's like having a language about language that doesn't have words for anything but language.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up. So, Leo, what are you doing on your channel lately? Do you got anything?
Not until Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
So, does anybody know when Dr. Dan is going to be talking to Danny about natural selection? I thought that was going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that.
Well, hopefully he'll pop back up in the chat and tell us, but maybe not. Maybe he got tired of the John Maddox stuff. And
okay. Oh, you mean he was in chat for a while? Danny was?
No,
Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan. Okay, I probably got tired of it. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it.
We have Dr. Dan and we have Danny.
Yep. So we're gonna wrap for the day, guys. We're ending the broadcast. Anybody have anything they want to say before I hit the end button?
Stay curious.
Okay. And goodbye, cruel world.
Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated.
Yes. I'll tell you a little bit about that when we go backstage.